ഒരു ചോദ്യം കൂടി, നിങ്ങളുടെ ലാസ്റ്റ് 90 ഡേയ്സിൽ എന്തൊക്കെ അനൗൺസ് ചെയ്യാനുണ്ടായിരുന്നു? A new goal, a new gym routine, a new skill you're learning, a life change you're making, and how many of those announcements were followed by consistent, quiet, documented work? Here's the pattern I want to expose today, not to shame, to show you something that will change how you operate. The men who are actually building something, they are the most boring people on your timeline. They post nothing, they announce nothing, and 6 months from now, they will show up with something real. അനൗൺസ്മെന്റ് കൊണ്ടുവരുന്ന കാര്യം നടക്കില്ല, അദൃശ്യ പരിശ്രമം കൊണ്ട് മാത്രം. I want to introduce a concept I call the announcement trap. Here's how it works. You have a goal, something real, something that matters. And the moment you decide on that goal, your brain releases dopamine. The same molecule released when you achieve a goal, just from the decision. Now add social sharing. You post it. People react. More dopamine. Your brain has now received the emotional reward of achievement without any actual achievement. And here is the problem. The brain doesn't double down after a dopamine hit. It relaxes because the perceived need has been partially met. Your announcement quietly told your brain, we have already moved on this. People know. The commitment is met. Rest a little. Post ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ബ്രെയിൻ പറയുന്നു കാര്യം തീർന്നു, കാര്യം തുടങ്ങിയിട്ട് വരില്ല. This is not theory. These are peer-reviewed studies in social psychology showing that public commitment to goals reduces the likelihood of achieving them in specific times of ambition. Creative, skill-based, competitive. Your Instagram story about your fitness journey is statistically working against you. Let me be direct about something I see in our specific demographic. The Gulf Malayali community has a complex relationship with appearance and status signaling because so much of the decision goes to the Gulf, or to stay, or to return, is socially evaluated. There is enormous pressure to demonstrate visible progress at every stage. Your family asks how is it going, and you need an answer they can repeat to relatives. Your friends compare who got promoted, who bought the car, who's got the better life. Social media amplifies. Every peer's visible success becomes a reference point for your own worth. This creates a culture where the performance of progress becomes almost as important as actual progress. And eventually, for many young men, it becomes more important because it's immediate, because it's controllable, because it gets feedback. കാണാൻ പറ്റുന്നത് കാണിക്കുന്നത് ഈസിയാണ്, കാണാൻ പറ്റാത്ത ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നത് ഹാർഡ്. പിന്നെ എന്തിന് ഹാർഡ് ചൂസ് ചെയ്യണം? Because the invisible is what lasts, the invisible is what compounds, the invisible is what no one can take from you. Let me explain the psychology of the silent grind, why it works, specifically at neurological level. When you work on something without audience, something remarkable happens to your relationship with that work. The motivation becomes intrinsic rather than extrinsic. Extrinsic motivation, likes, comments, praise, recognition, is a powerful short-term motivator, but it is highly volatile. One day no engagement and the behavior becomes harder to sustain. One critical moment and you question the entire direction. Intrinsic motivation, doing the work because the work itself has meaning to you, is slower to build but exponentially more durable. The man who is intrinsically motivated doesn't need performance, reviews, social validation, or audience approval to continue. He continues because stopping doesn't feel like an option. The mental architecture of every person who has ever built anything remarkable. This is the mental architecture of every person who has ever built anything remarkable. അവർക്ക് no one was watching ഉള്ള നേരം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അവർ പിന്നെയും വർക്ക് ചെയ്തു. അതുകൊണ്ട് അവർ ഇത്രകത്തെ. This is also a focus dimension. The moment you share your work in progress before it's ready, you invite feedback. And feedback, even positive feedback, redirects your attention from the work to reception of the work. The difference between a craftsman and a performer. The craftsman's eye is always on the work. The performer's eye is always on the audience. You need to become a craftsman. The hardest thing about silent grind is the loneliness of it. You're working on something nobody knows, nobody asks, nobody validates. Your friends are out. Your phone is full of other people's highlights. And the voice in your head asks, is this even worth it? Does it even matter? Is anyone going to care? And here is the truth I want to plant in you, deeply enough that it stays. The question is not whether anyone will care. The question is whether you will care. 5 years from now, about who you choose to become in this quiet moment. ചുമ്മാ പോകാമായിരുന്നു, ചുമ്മാ ഇരിക്കായിരുന്നു, പരിശ്രമിക്കായിരുന്നു, നിനക്ക് മാത്രമേ അറിയൂ നീ എന്താ ചൂസ് ചെയ്തതെന്ന്. Silent grind is a private agreement between you and your future self. And most men break that agreement the moment it stops feeling good. The moment there's no audience. The moment there's no feedback. The moment the work is hard and invisible. The ones who don't break it, those are the ones who show up changed. Silent builders operating system. 4 rules. Rule 1, the 90-day container. Pick one thing you want to build, just one. Define a specific 90-day outcome, not a vague direction, but a concrete deliverable. Skill at specific level, a project completed, a habit that with a measurable record. Tell one person. someone who has earned your trust and who will hold on your account without needing you to perform for them. Just one. That's your accountability architecture. Now, rule 2. Work before world. Every day, do 1 unit of work on your 90-day goal before engaging with the world. Before the phone, before the news, before the group chats. 1 unit, even 20 minutes. This single habit restructures your entire day psychological hierarchy. Your goal becomes primary. Everything else becomes secondary. ആ കൊച്ചു 20 minutes എല്ലാത്തിനും മേലെ അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ബാക്കിയല്ലോ. Rule 3. The proof folder. Instead of posting a progress online, document it privately. A folder on your phone. Journal. A weekly voice note to yourself. This creates psychological benefits of external validation. You're witnessing your own growth without exposing the work to audience-driven volatility. When the 90 days are done and you have something real to show, then you share, not the journey, the arrival. Rule 4. Protect the container. People will ask what you're working on. Something I'm not ready to talk about yet is a complete answer. You owe no one a preview of unfinished work. No one gets access to the building, only to the building once it stands. The identity shift here is simple but profound. I want people to see me working to I want to have actually worked. First identity requires an audience. It is dependent. It is fragile. It outsources itself to a metric you cannot control. The second identity is entirely owned by you. Nobody can take it. It doesn't require a signal. It doesn't require validation. It is simply true. There is a specific kind of confidence that comes from this identity. It is quiet. It doesn't announce itself. You feel it in how you walk into a room, in how you speak about yourself, without arrogance, without apology. ഞാനെന്താ ചെയ്യുന്നത് എനിക്കറിയാം, അത് മറ്റാരും അറിയേണ്ടതില്ല. That energy, that quiet certainty of a man who is working, is more magnetic than any amount of public performance. There's a version of you working right now on something real. Nobody is watching. The city is asleep. Notifications are off. There's only the work and the quiet, non-dramatic satisfaction of a man who kept his word to himself tonight. That man exists. He's not fantasy. He's not far from you. He's one decision away from the man you are right now. Not a dramatic decision. Not a life-changing announcement. Just this. Tonight. The work done. ആരുമില്ലാതെ നീ ശ്രമിച്ചു. അതാണ് സ്റ്റോറി. Most importantly, അത് മതി. Right now, close social media for 24 hours. Not as a punishment. As an experiment. See what you do with that space. See what naturally fills it. Comment one word. What is the thing you are going to build in the next 90 days? No sentences needed. One word. That is a silent declaration. Week 3 begins Tuesday. We are going into confidence, but not the kind you have been taught. The confidence that doesn't need approval. Subscribe and set the notification. The world will meet your results. It does not need to witness your process. Build in silence. Arrive in full.